Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Set Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. If you have time, please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you would like to get a reading, or check out any of my Ask an Aquarius or Archangel Michael merchandise, or if you would like to send a love donation to the channel, or if you would like to send me a gift from my Amazon wish list, please check out underneath this video. Also, today we're going to be looking at a deck, the Southern Oracle. This deck was gifted to me for the purpose of doing a review. So it was a gift, but the opinions about it are totally going to be my own. So underneath here, I'm also going to put the information where you can buy this oracle if you would like to have one, because it's very unique. I have never seen, I've seen different things, but I haven't seen the South like this. So this should be really interesting. If you take a look here, you can see the email of Kate, who is the creator of this deck. Now, I don't know if she did the art and created the deck, but we are about to find out. Now, I have not opened this deck. I looked at 2 or 3. Ooh. I always have a hard time opening these boxes. I looked at 2 or 3 of the cards online, and that was it. So you and I are about to be surprised together. Let's see what else is in this box. At the bottom of the box, oh, it's a note from Kate. Hi, I watched a little bit of one of your videos and I heard you say, where's the gratitude? And I felt like, yes, Queen, I like your energy. That's what this world needs. Enjoy my baby. Much love, Kate. Yeah, I do think the world does need more gratitude. That is so true, Kate. Thank you so much. So we're going to now enjoy Kate's baby. Let's check it out. Now remember, oh, okay. Remember, I haven't seen them, so I'm going to be reacting with you guys in real time. I'm going to pull it all the way close to you so you can see it as large as possible. There you go. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Optimism, perseverance, opportunity, creative, and genius. Now, this deck does not have a guidebook, okay? So all of the information is directly on the card you're looking at. This is the back. Here, each back looks exactly the same. They are not too thin. Some decks are paper thin. This is not paper thin, but it's not so thick. Look at that bounce back, baby. Baby got back. So it's not so thin that it would be problematic. But it's not so thick that you can't shuffle it. That's the problem with the thicker decks. It's almost impossible to shuffle them. Honey child. Now, remember that this is a Southern oracle. So all of these statements are things I've heard my mother and her sisters say, or I've said myself for that matter. Honey child, I probably said 1,000 times. And in this case, it's coming up as abundance and fertility. Beginning in your prime. All right. Okay. How's your mama and them? That means how is your mother and the rest of your family? For anybody who wants a translation. It says your people reach out strong roots. Connection, presence, reunion, foundation. This is beautiful. Yes. And the artwork, to me, is very playful. Look at the pig. Lipstick on a pig. How many times have I heard that saying? Oh my goodness. These are all of those old Southern sayings that I grew up laughing at. Covering up. Yeah, lipstick on a pig is to cover up something. Like you put a facade of beauty on something that's rotten on the inside. Or you put it on something that, in this case, it says artificial. Somebody could be trying to trick you or something like that. So this is very interesting because I like the way that she uses the Southern sayings and then gets deep into what they could possibly mean. Holler. Let me holler at you. My aunts always called my house and said, where your mama at? Let me holler at her. That's what they always said. And this is, let me communicate with her. Please get her to the telephone, you know? So if you get this card, somebody wants to holler at you. So yeah, and I love the simplicity. Bless your heart. I love this. I love the simplicity of just having a heart-shaped balloon. And usually, bless your heart, it's a playful teasing. That's what I know it to be. Like a playful teasing of a person, like, oh, you poor thing, bless your heart. But it also, if said it sincerely, could be friendship, devotion, or appreciation. But I've only ever used it and heard it used in jest to tease somebody. Fixin' to. Fixin' to means I am about to go forth. Getting ready to. So this is another one. It's crazy how I know all of these old sayings. Probably because my mother still says them. My mother has 12 sisters and brothers, and they all use these terms, mostly because their mother and father were from the South. A little something I threw together. People from the South always say, or I should say, my Southern relatives always say, oh, it's just a little something I threw together. And it's like the biggest, you know, beautifulest thing that you ever could have created. So this one is talking about accomplishment and triumph. Yeah, you've accomplished. You've created something beautiful. And they're usually giving you accolades for it. And then they say, oh, it's just something I threw together. Or this old thing, you know. They kind of downplay it, but they're really loving it, eating up the attention. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. This is something we always say in our families. If the mother is not happy, the whole house is not happy. So here we have mother needing some self-love, some relaxation. A lot of men will say this. They're like, gotta keep your wife happy. I love the bathtub. I love it. I love the bubbles. I love the artwork. I have got to ask her who did the artwork. Maybe she did the artwork. I'm not sure, but I like it a lot. It's very, it takes me back. It really takes me back. Swinging on the front porch. People who live in the South have a tendency to have porches. Some people, like where I'm at, we have balconies, but in the South they call it a porch, and it is the front area before you enter into the home. And you will often see people sitting on the porch swinging or talking or things along those lines. And it's a very cozy time. It's just a time for having a beer, relaxing, having some tea, talking to your grandma. It's not a big deal kind of thing, but it's a beautiful time. Two peas in a pod. This is usually two people, when they say this, it's two people who are like twin flames, soulmates, destined, you know, to be together. And that's what she has here, soul partnership. Could be somebody's life mate, their husband, their best friend, or something like that. And my grandmother would say, y'all like two peas in a pod. I like this. This is a cool deck. I love the concept. Whatever floats your boat. Another thing people will tell you when you say you want to do something, they'll say, whatever floats your boat. So basically, if you get enjoyment out of it, go ahead and do it. Do you. She has her at the bottom. Do you. That's exactly what that is. Do you, boo. Let's check out the kitty cat. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Definitely. And she has it down. Yeah, it's more than one way to do something, basically. And she has that there is creativity, or what is that, originality. And when you think about the metaphor, it's like, why would you want to skin a cat? Ugh. But it really doesn't have to do with harming any animals. It just has to do with finding different innovative ways for doing things. Aren't you precious? A lot of the older people would always say this to me before they squeezed my cheeks. Oh my goodness. Aren't you precious? And they grab my cheeks. So something that you often do to a child, or again, in jest when you're poking fun at a friend. Grits. If you have never had grits before, I don't know what to tell you. I love grits. This is Kiss My Grits. Grits are a breakfast. I don't even know how to describe them. It's kind of like oatmeal, if you can imagine, but it tastes totally different than oatmeal. But that's what it's like. It's like that kind of warm cereal kind of thing. But they taste really good. They taste, and everybody always argues about grits. I'm gonna tell you guys the famous argument about grits. If you're from the South, you probably already know what I'm getting ready to say. Everybody always argue, should you use sugar and butter or salt and butter on your grits? Now, in my family, we always did salt and butter. But there are people who swear by sugar and butter. So you could tell me where you are in that argument. But kiss my grits means to kiss my behind, actually. It doesn't actually mean to kiss your breakfast. It means kiss my butt. If somebody tells you that. There was an old show that used to come on TV. It was called Alice. I think that's what it was. It called Mel's Diner. I think it was called Mel's Diner, and Alice worked there. And her friend used to always tell people, kiss my grits, and that's what she meant, kiss my behind. Then she would walk away. It was like her catchphrase on the show. So I don't know if Southern people ever really said kiss my grits, because I never heard my mom and them say that. We always ate grits for every weekend. When my mom made a big breakfast, we always had grits. But I never heard her tell somebody to kiss her grits. Chicken with its head cut off, another very common one. Person who's running around, just running around, sometimes without any direction, overwhelmed, frenzied, she has here, chaos. And yeah, these all make sense. This is a really cool deck. Somebody was telling me they wanted to pair this deck with the Hoodoo Tarot. And I think it would be a great pair because the Hoodoo Tarot is from the South too. And so this would be great. Just fell off the turnip truck. This is somebody who's gullible, and she has the words naive, so this person just fell off the turnip truck. They basically don't know no better. This is when somebody is doing something and you're like, oh, they know. They just fell off the turnip truck, meaning they don't really know any better. They're naive, they're gullible. I wonder how she got all these. I wonder, did she interview people, or is her family from the South? Barking up the wrong tree. That's a dead end. That's not going nowhere. If a woman tells you you're barking up the wrong tree, stop calling her. Stop texting her. Stop hitting her up. You're barking up the wrong tree. She don't want to be bothered with you. If a man says that to you, and she has that here, dead end, stalemate, that kind of thing. I love how the dog is actually barking up the tree, though. That is cool. So I can vouch for all of these sayings so far. They all are real. Sweating like a sinner in church. Yes. The South is very hot. It's very hot. In Philadelphia, in the summertime, it's also very hot. So you would also hear elders say this, sweating like a sinner in church. Because the thought is that if you a sinner and you sitting in church while the preacher is telling a sermon, you're going to be sitting there sweating, remorseful maybe. You might even need to do some confession because you might have been cutting up, that kind of thing. A sinner is somebody who does things they don't have any business. So I guess that could be the case, especially if you're in church and the pastor is talking about something you feel bad about. If the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I have heard this 1,000 times. Basically, it means if God lets it happen. If nothing goes wrong, everything it'd be smooth sailing. Catching lightning bugs. Now, this is an activity that we always did in Philadelphia and in the South. I went to the South a few times to visit, but most of my childhood was spent in North Philadelphia and West Oak Lane in Philadelphia. and we did catch lightning bugs. It was one of my happiest, like it says here, happiness, everyday magic, childhood. It's one of my favorite childhood memories. We would catch them and put them in a jar, and we would put holes in the top of the jar, hoping that they would live and the jar would glow forever. Of course, it didn't work like that. Once you caught them, they don't live very long. And we would put them in a jar and with grass and all kinds of stuff in it. And it was actually encouraged by our parents. I think it was just to keep us busy. But it was cool because all of a sudden you'd be sitting outside, it would start getting dark, and you would see these lightning bugs. It would be great. Give me some sugar. That's a kiss. That is a request for a kiss. But our elders didn't say, oh, come here, give me a kiss. They said, give me some sugar, baby. And hugs, kisses, yeah, that kind of thing. I love the girl here, the woman here. I love her hair. I love her lips. Perfect. Oh my goodness. For some reason, I don't know why this wasn't at the beginning. It must have gotten shuffled. But the Southern Oracle, created by Kate. I wonder, there is no illustrator on here, so I'm thinking she may, I'm not sure, she might have done the illustrations. So if you want to know, you can hit her up on Etsy and ask her, because that's not on here. How far are we? Everybody asks that when you're going on a road trip and you're like, how far are we? Are we almost there? People always ask that when you're on a road trip. And it was very common for us to go on road trips. We would go to Atlantic City, and my southern family members, they would go, they're mostly in Georgia, so I guess they would go all over that area. My aunt just hit me up and she was like going fishing, and they were like driving around, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's raining cats and dogs. Simply, there's a lot of rain. And it says here, this too shall pass. So if somebody got this card, I would be looking at what's the rain in their life. Is it literal rain, or is it something going on? Do they need a cleansing? Those kind of things. 3 sheets to the wind. I thought this was drunk. Okay, it is. Okay, because I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that when you're drunk? Okay, so you're 3 sheets to the wind, you are drinking. And could be drinking too much. Could be some escapism, could be some overindulgence, or it could just be blowing off steam and having some merriment. It depends on your situation. And I'm wondering, like, as I'm looking at these cards, they don't really have upright and reverse. And I'm thinking that based on how you read it, it could be in the upright. For example, God don't like ugly. I'm thinking like God don't like ugly is about somebody being nasty and being mean. So if it's in the upright, maybe that's how the person is behaving. And if you get it upside down, maybe they're trying not to be that spiteful, vengeful person. So you could possibly reverse these too. I don't have a tendency to reverse oracle cards, but since some of these meanings are positive or negative, I might play around with reversals with this one. Swamp Angel, somebody who's a nuisance. I've never heard of the Swamp Angel. So this person, they said, is a nuisance, a gossip, a freeloading opportunist. Who can't hang around them Swamp Angels. Oh no. Come to Jesus. That's what my aunt would say. And this is all about God. Period. Divine intervention, surrender, reconciliation. So even if you're not a Christian, if you got this card, it will be talking about going to your creator. Whether it be Ganesha, Mayat, your ancestors, angels, whoever you, if you say universe, if you say creator, whatever, come get help from the creator. Come get some divine intervention. But in the South, they definitely would say Jesus, because most of the South is, I don't know about today, but most of the South used to be mostly Christian. But I'm not sure now, because I know there are a lot of people who are into Islam in this generation. If that ain't nothing but grits, if that ain't truth, grits ain't groceries. I have never heard this one. And that's a bowl of grits. That's exactly what it looks like. They're little, and they got the butter on it and hopefully some salt, not sugar. Believe it. So if they say this, you're supposed to believe it. It's trustworthy. It's the real deal. Okay, all right. That's a new one for me. Were you raised in a barn? My mother would say that when I left the front door open. Were you raised in a barn? Close that door. You're letting my heat out. You're letting my air out if the air conditioner was on. So, were you raised in a barn? Poor manners, lack of tact, exactly, being impolite, not courteous, needing to be, act like you was raised in the house and not the barn, basically. It's basically you're acting like an animal. I would come running in the house, leave the door wide open, didn't even wipe my feet yet, you know. Oh, look at this. This is cool. Too big for your own britches. So he's definitely too big for them little behind pants. And that usually has to do with your ego. You done got out of pocket. They said arrogant, yeah, vain, self-important, high and mighty. Need to come down a peg, boo-boo. You got too big for your own britches. If you too big for your own britches, you in trouble, because who else britches you gonna wear? You in trouble. I heard that one a lot. Pot calling the kettle black. This is when you do something and then you critique somebody else for doing the same thing. Yeah, hypocrisy, exactly. Projection, blame. Yeah, and it's like you're calling them out for bad behavior, but you're doing the same bad behaviors. And so they said you're the pot and you're calling the kettle black. Another very common one. Hush up. They always tell you hush up, especially a kid. They don't tell you shut up or be quiet. They say you hush up. And that's to be quiet, to be silent, to be discreet, that kind of thing. One thing I did learn from my Southern roots was respectability. They were talking about like having manners and being respectful. Our family was big on courtesy and being respectful and things like that. That was big. That is big. My mother and them are still on that. I'll get around to it. You'll eventually do it, maybe. Maybe you'll get around to it. So this person is like, just relax, enjoy the flow. I'll get around to it. And they usually get around to it. It might not be in the time that you want, but usually if somebody says that they'll get around to it, you got to be patient, and they're going to get around to it when they get good and goddamn ready is the bottom line. Hotter than blue blazes. Never heard this one. So it means passion. Ooh, sensuality. Chemistry. So this is more like longing. Okay. Oh, no wonder I didn't hear that one. They probably said that one behind my back when they were talking to each other about their dates. One horse town. This is a sleepy little town. Nothing going on. You know, if you come to a town with one horse, that is not, ain't nothing happening. Probably got an outhouse. It's nothing to do. And people in these kind of little towns usually branch off. Unless they stay on the land, they branch off. So it says here branching out and moving on. So when my grandmother was young, they were all going to the north for those industrial jobs. Got us a peach. Sweet as a Georgia peach. Supposedly Georgia peaches are the most sweetest peaches in the world. I don't remember. They could be. So this is kindness, being being kind, being tender, being charming. Could even be flirtatious. If you're being too sweet to somebody, like, what are you trying to get out of me? Stomping grounds. This is usually where you hang out. Yeah, your origin. Yeah, your past. So my stomping grounds would be where I come from. Bump on a log. You ain't doing nothing. Laying around, loafing. Yeah, not doing nothing. Just a bump on a log. That's it. And that's what he is right there. He chilling. It's blowing up a storm. So this is something that is setting off, shaking up, momentum, sudden changes. Reminds me of the Tower card from Tarot. Sudden changes coming in like the weather. Don't get your feathers ruffled. Don't get upset. Yeah, stay calm. Yeah, be patient. Yeah, breathe. Have some compassion. Yeah, Oh, man. Kate did a great job with these, man. They're perfect. Sweet tooth, yes. Somebody who has a sweet tooth usually loves sweets. Candies, that's me. I don't love candy. I do like some candies, but I'm more of a baked goods person. And so this person might be into that. It also says this could have something to do with love and proposals as well. I've only heard it mentioned with candy and sweets though, so I probably would have missed that one. Well, that just deals my pickle. So, so this one it's a yes. Okay, this is success. I've heard this one, but I didn't know what it meant. I thought it meant it made the person happy. Okay, yeah, I'm right. Joyous resolution. So that is one of the meanings. So it makes the person happy. It just deals my pickle. I'm gonna start saying that. My friend's gonna be like, "What? You what? Over yonder? Yes, everything is over yonder. If it's around the corner, it's over yonder. If it's 2 miles away, it's over yonder. If it's downtown, it's over yonder. Wherever it is." So she has here that focus forward, anticipation, eyes on the prize. So in here is more like focusing. For us, it was more like where you're actually going, like direction, proximity. Like, oh yeah, the Piggly Wiggly is over yonder. So it's about a couple towns over. And the thing about over yonder is that it's no direct measurement. If I say over yonder, I could be talking about across the street or far, far away. So whenever somebody says that, I'm like, exactly how far yonder are you talking about? So that was the last one. So this is an adorable deck. I can definitely vouch for its southernness. She did an amazing job with the card stock, with the pictures, with the backs of it. I don't know what this flower is on the back, but I'm sure it's probably something that grows in the South. It looked like, I'm thinking lily, but I could be wrong because I don't know my flowers on site. It's a nice amount. As you can see, it's a nice amount of cards too. I think it was what, 28, and it didn't even seem like, no, it's more than oh, they're not in order. That's why that card was in the right place. Okay, so I'm seeing at least 44 actually. I think this is a 44 card deck, so it's a great amount. Yeah, it looks like the highest number is 44. So it is a great amount. And they were in order up until a certain point. Yeah, they were in order up until 22, and then later on they began to come out of order some kind of way. But the bottom line is that this is an amazing deck. I love it to death. And it is a great match for the Hoodoo Tarot for people that are doing that one. So come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.